Welcome to the coaching business playbook of Project Starlit. I have been in the events and coaching space for the last 1.5 to 2 years. Probably have worked with hundreds and thousands of coaches, entrepreneurs, people in this space, people in the self-development industry, and this is sort of the consolidation of all of that. You guys get exact step-by-step ads, playbooks, models, money models to use, whether they are workshops, in-person events, direct one-on-ones, giveaways, whatever different offers you have from like lead generation to lead nurture to getting clients to show up, whether they're at your event or where they're at your one-on-ones that you're doing to convert them, sales calls, how to sell them, how to sell from stage, how to sell one-on-one. Fulfillment, the exact step-by-step processes on engaging those masterminds, inner circles, after parties, lunches. Pretty much like everything we cover here, from the ad creatives to managing and hiring your staff members, to building the team and building the culture that is necessary to win. And all the mistakes and things that I have seen throughout the path that I don't want you guys to make, and I don't want myself to make either. Because originally these trainings and this model isn't made for this is not like a course or a training program or anything like that. And there's nothing to sell. Like I reveal everything here, everything that I know, and I've tried to systematize it and make it as easy to implement and as systematic as possible. Because I originally made this for myself and my teams and businesses that I would potentially work with that might be under my portfolio. I don't want to sell education. I want to actually implement it right. And this was sort of consolidation of all of those ideas and mistakes and everything else that was made over the last few years. And I might have worked with behind the scenes, not public facing, but I've probably marketed the most events and then ran most of them in the self-development industry in Australia in 2024. And even besides that, even to this day, I'm working with a bunch of big ones, but I have seen both the good side and the bad side of the industry. I've seen people who unfairly take advantage of others. I've seen people who make a difference and change their lives on the other hand. The reason why I made this model was for the ones who chose to create an impact. Because to be honest, like the self-development industry is filled with a lot of weirdos or people who don't have the right intentions and who wouldn't hesitate to just who are just after money pretty much and they don't have any fulfillment or delivery. And I've seen the people whose dreams and everything that gets sort of mixed up in that, and I wanted to make this process and make this public as well. Later on, I might take it down. Again, this is mainly for personal use, so I'm killing multiple birds with one stone. But the thing is that I originally made this so that those guys, for those of you who have those intentions and who want to make an impact, this allows you to do that, right? That was the intention, and I've pretty much covered everything. So, quickly, I'll share a bit about myself, and then everything else. So that's me. Whereas you'll see me with a bunch of these famous name. I was one of the top affiliates for Hormozy's 100 million book launch, in which he sold he made over 100 millions in sales. Chris Williamson, Richard Branson, James Smith, Goggins, Vince Wong behind the scenes at events, blah blah blah. The previous Gary V, Ty Lopez, a bunch of these guys. And even I've been exposed to this for a while and everything else, right? But the thing is, let's not start getting distracted here. Along with so this is just a sneak peek, what's included. You guys have exact plug and play funnels that some of the and websites and landing pages that some of the most successful coaches use. So Tony Robbins, Jim Launch, Lady Boss, Russell Brunson, James Smith, Hormozzi's, Money Models, all of these. For whatever play you have, masterminds, workshops, master classes, Facebook community invites, empowerment events, challenges, books, guides, one-on-one consults, sales, product sales, giveaway funnels, retargeting, pretty much everything is included, and then the same thing is done with the ads and everything else. That's the coaching business scaling system, right? Coaching business playbook. I need to fix the name. Let's close this thing. So pretty much we cover all the five levers. You guys get access to all of these things for the acquisition processes, for the sales and ascension processes, for the fulfillment. Um, If you just have the right setup, this is the right setup. I've tried to make it as value packed as possible, as plug and play as possible, the ads to run. If you don't want to run paid ads, what other ways you can use? How can you make your websites look better? You get all of those for free, setting up the workflows, like everything pretty much. And these are just like some of the resources. There is a lot more inside there. And pretty much, yeah, I've tried to make this an end-to-end model, and that's what it is. It is an end-to-end model for coaches and business owners in the self-development space who want to scale. Because this is my attempt to change lives and create an impact. I remember I've been at these events and at these scenarios at the end of the day when the whole room is empty and nobody's there. And you can literally just like feel the silence and as well as being the first person inside. And in that piece, like you just everything was over. Like there the place that was so energetic and there were thousands of people and the room are gone. And I would just be there by myself, just like thinking, where could this be or what's the total impact of this industry? Because I would always have mixed feelings about it. Because I would see people who benefited from it. I would also see the ones who didn't. And then later on, like, I kind of tried to step away from the industry, and I sort of have. So I'm not directly involved anymore, and I want to focus on other sides of the business. But this is sort of like my conclusion chapter, let's just put it that way, to all the lessons, to all the things that I learned. I remember the first time I went to one of these large conferences, which was like for the self-help, and it was Gary Vee was supposed to be the person there. And I remember like a guy from stage sold, and he had a table rush and 500, I was just down doing the maths, and he probably sold like 100 people and probably made 500,000 on his $5,000 product. But all of that sort of hype that people look at went away when I later on saw Gary V7. And the entire presence of Gary was different. He was answering questions, he was helping people out. You could tell that he was making a difference and he cared about others. And he was so sure of himself and his character. And I've seen that very rarely in this industry, in people who genuinely care and who are genuinely confident and they genuinely don't want your money, or they're genuinely trying to help and are not trying to take advantage, and yet they are also the most successful. And like those are the sort of coaches or those are the sort of speakers I'd like you guys to be like. At the end of the day, I've seen the businesses who like these are the strategies that I'm sharing. They can be misused, all right? Like I know that. And it does worry me a bit as well at times because I have pretty much given all the frameworks, all the steps. So the thing is that I'm betting on the fact that the pros would negate the cons, as well as this could give the platform and the structure to the ones who have been trying, genuinely care about others, have this weird ambitious goals that you feel like in this like sort of world where you're like the crazy ones who decided to help others and be a consultant or be a mentor or whatever space you are in. Use education as a way for making an impact, but you don't know what to do, or you don't have the right systems, or you don't have the right processes. This model was built to provide you guys with that, right? As well as to provide me with that. Um, and I hope that you use this and change more lives. And I'll see you guys in the next training.